Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning, students.
Ma'am, yesterday I went to the jewelry shop along with my mother. There I saw a person who was repairing a piece of jewelry using some lump of metal. I was wondering what he was doing.
He might be repairing the piece of metal with a lump of pure metal.
Pure metal? Ma'am, what is it?
Okay. For that, let me tell you about the purification of metals, or more accurately, about the extraction of metals.
Oh, wow!
Alright, as we know that elements and compounds occur naturally under the earth crust are known as minerals. Have you heard about it?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, can you tell me the names of highly reactive metals on the basis of reactivity series?
Ma'am, they are calcium, sodium and potassium.
Very good. Chetan, now tell me the names of moderately reactive metals.
Ma'am, they are magnesium, zinc and lead.
Good. Alright, once again Shifali, let me put this question to you. Please tell me the names of least reactive metals.
Ma'am, gold, silver and platinum.
Very good. So, we will discuss the purification of metal on the basis of reactivity series. Let me pose some more questions to you. Can you tell me which gases are present in air?
Ma'am, air contains oxygen
Sulfur dioxide
and carbon dioxide.
Very good. You also know about the reactivity of metals. Can you tell me what happens when metal reacts with oxygen?
Ma'am, when metals react with oxygen, they form metal oxides.
Very good. So when these gases are present with various metals, they form minerals, and only those minerals which contains high percentage of metal and from which metals can be extracted profitably are known as ores.
Ma'am, does it mean all ores are minerals but all minerals are not ores?
Yes, exactly. When ore is obtained from the earth crust, they contain a large amount of impurity like soil, sand, etc., which is known as gangue. These impurities must be removed prior to the extraction of pure metals. And it involves a lot of processes which is based on the difference in physical and chemical properties of the ore and the gangue. Different separation techniques have been employed like froth flotation, magnetic separation and gravity separation for this process, about which you will learn in your higher classes. After the process of separation of gangue, the metals are purified on the basis of activity series. Metals which are low in the activity series like mercury, copper, etc. are found in the form of their sulfide ores. For example, cinnabar is an ore of mercury. It is first converted into mercuric oxide by the process of heating, where cinnabar is strongly heated in the presence of excess of air so that it is converted into mercuric oxide. Then, when mercuric oxide is heated further, it is reduced to mercury, where oxygen is separated and mercury is obtained in liquid form, which is further purified by the process of refining. Other metal which occurs in the form of sulfide ore is copper, and it is also extracted in the same manner from its ore. Are you getting it?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so let us now discuss about the extraction of those metals which are present in the middle of the activity series. As we already know that metals like zinc, iron and lead are present in the middle of the activity series. These are generally found in earth crust in the form of sulfide or carbonate. For example, calamine is a carbonate ore of zinc and zinc blende is a sulfide ore of zinc. So, as you can see in this diagram, that for sulfide ores we use the process of roasting, which is followed by reduction of metal oxide, where metal is separated from oxygen, and which is further followed by the process of refining in order to obtain the pure metal.
Ma'am, how metal is extracted from carbonate ores?
For carbonate ores, the process of calcination is employed where the metal carbonate is strongly heated in the limited supply of air and it is converted into metal oxide. For example, calamine. You can see the chemical reactions on the screen where zinc carbonate is strongly heated and it is converted into zinc oxide. After that, the metal oxide is reduced by using a suitable reducing agent like carbon or coke in order to obtain the metal. Sometimes metals like sodium, calcium, aluminium can also be used as reducing agent because these can displace the low reactive metals from their compounds. These reactions are highly exothermic in nature and we get the metal in molten state. For example, you can see on the screen that here aluminium is used to obtain the molten iron. This molten iron is used in joining railway tracks and other machine parts, and this process is known as thermite process. So let us now discuss about the extraction of those metals which are present at the top of activity series.
But ma'am, these metals are so reactive that they cannot be displaced by other metals easily.
Yes, you're right. These highly reactive metals cannot be obtained from their compound by reduction with carbon. For example, carbon cannot reduce the oxides of sodium, magnesium, calcium, etc. because these metals have high affinity for oxygen than carbon.
So ma'am, how can we obtain these metals?
These metals are obtained by the process of electrolytic reduction. Sodium, magnesium and calcium are obtained by the electrolysis of their molten chlorides. The word electrolysis means breaking apart. So, these molten chlorides separate into ions on passing electric current and these ions get deposited at respective electrode and pure metal is obtained. Let us look at the screen to understand this process better. Here, molten NaCl breaks into sodium and chloride ions when electric current is passed through it. At anode, the chloride ions lose electrons and change into chlorine. So, oxidation of chlorine takes place. Whereas at cathode, reduction takes place where the sodium ions gain electron and change into sodium metal. So, in this way, pure sodium is obtained by this process.
So ma'am, does it mean that the metals produced by the various reduction processes which we have discussed are in the purest form?
No, these metals are further purified up to 99.99% by the process of electrolytic refining. This process is used for obtaining pure metals like silver, gold, copper. Let us look at the computer screen to understand this process better. Taking the example of electrolytic refining of copper, you can see that there are two electrodes here, anode and cathode, dipped in acidified copper sulfate solution. The thick rod of impure copper acts as anode and the cathode is a thin rod of pure copper. Current is passed through the solution. As a result, the acidified copper sulfate solution splits into copper ions and sulfate ions. The copper ions from the electrolyte get attracted towards the cathode. At cathode, the copper ions gains 2 electrons and deposit as pure copper atoms on the thin copper rod. At the same time, copper atoms from the anode lose 2 electrons and get converted into copper ions and dissolve into the electrolytic solution. In this way, the concentration of electrolytic solution remains constant. This process continues and copper atoms from the anode get deposited on the cathode. Hence, eventually the size of anode decreases and the size of cathode increases. The chemical reactions which occur in this process are as follows. In this way, all the pure copper from the anode deposit on the cathode, leaving behind the impurities which go into the solution and settle down at the bottom of anode. It is known as anode mud. So, in this way, various metals are obtained in their purest form from their ores. Shefali, I think you got the answer to your question.
Yes, ma'am. Not only this, but we also learned how metals are extracted.
Really, ma'am, we have learned the various processes of extraction of metals on the basis of activity series.
Well, that's very good. So, that's all for this session. See you later. Goodbye.
Goodbye,
Goodbye,
ma'am.
ma'am.